Welcome back, everyone. This is the 12th meeting in our series, 12 days. And it's January 4th, 2023, a Wednesday. And today we'll be attending to the 13th image in our series. And I am very conscious of the fact that a lot of communities have already gone back to work. I know that both of my daughters have gone back to school, but we are part of a special community that has the capacity to attend to these holy nights through Epiphany. So I want to acknowledge this strength of our community. And today we're going to hear from Verlyn McGilvray, who's been a tech host for us several days, but today she's going to bring our leading thought. And then we'll have some Eurythmy from our dear Katrina. So I'll turn it over to you, Verlyn.
Thank you, Angela. Okay, there we go. Hello, everyone. Hello. So honored to be here in this special community. As Angela was just saying, this has been a very powerful opportunity for me in my life, and so grateful to share this with you. And very happy to be bringing some contemplations around this, the Bruges Madonna. This is an amazing sculpture that is so striking. That's the word that I came up with for this sculpture and its placement in our series. It is a new look, a new feel. We have been focusing for the most part on these amazing paintings from Raphael, with the one bas relief sculpture from Donatello. And so this is the first and only full sculpture that we're bringing forward in this series. And I find it to be such a striking accent along our journey. And I'm noticing that there's so many layers with it that I wanted to share today. One being that there's this change now, that as we've been following the movement of the Jesus child into this pentagram shape that Brian helped us understand at the very beginning, that this particular piece is representing the final leg, if you will. Today and tomorrow, we will be looking at the two last pieces that complete that pentagram. And so there's this sense of coming down to a completion, a sense of coming to an end. And indeed, that is the truth in our Holy Nights journey, that this Jesus to Christ journey, this arc that we've been following, as Rudolf Steiner put it, where we are now coming towards Epiphany. We are completing these holy days, these days between the years, if you will. And so I wanted to share a little bit about some layers and how that might touch you as it's touched me. So one of the things about this sculpture is that it was done by Michelangelo, a wonderful sculptor who considered himself a sculptor first and foremost, even though he was an amazing painter, as we all know, and how he would go to the Italian marble quarries and he would pick his pieces, feeling that he had to get the right marble, this one piece of marble that he could do the sculpture from, so that he could release the images to the light. And he would work with this marble in such a way that he felt that it was working with him, and he was finding what it was in the marble that would show the theme that he was sculpting. And this was finished in 1504, and it was this piece that is this contemporary time with Raphael, when Raphael was doing all the paintings of the Madonnas and the children that we have been looking at. And so this idea of comparing this particular Mary to the others that we've been looking at, and this sense that she has of being resolved, of being accepting. I feel her to be as if she's in a spot where she has now decided this is this time of letting go. The book is closed on her lap. The will of God is known to her. She will do nothing to get in that way. And in fact, quite the opposite. And she's quite regal in her decision. And as a counterpoint, we see the Jesus child, the Nathan soul, in this full front vision to us, as he's literally in action. He's literally stepping down, stepping from the enclosure of his mother's robes and her love out into the world. And he's fully meeting the world in a determined way. And that brings forward that Taurus energy that this particular piece is holding in place for us during the series that we're looking at. And I find this sense of like, who among us hasn't been in this place where we've had to let go, where we've had to hold our own equanimity as we allow something to happen, even knowing that it could be difficult. What mother in us or what parent in us hasn't done that, or what part of us hasn't had to let go of ourselves in some way so that we could step out into the world in some new way and go forward and be a part of the plan. And so there's this image for me of how Mary represents this movement towards a Sophia, how she always is showing us this purification, this virginal purification, this ability to move forward towards this purified astral soul, bringing in the energy of what can come of that Christed energy, that we're birthing into the world, each of us on our own journey. And as Christopher Bamford brought in the book that we've been following, this book, The Healing Madonnas, one of the quotes that he brought forward from the St. John's Gospel that Rudolf Steiner gave is the cleansed, purified astral body, which bears within it at the moment of illumination none of the impure impressions of the physical world, but only the organs of perception of the spiritual world. And it is called in esoteric Christianity the pure, chaste, wise Virgin Sophia. So we have this image of showing us where that could be in us, and how we can see in our own mundane lives this echo that Michelangelo is showing us in this amazing piece. And the last little spot that I wanted to bring in is that we can also think of this beautiful Madonna sculpture as a bookend, that this is giving us this sense of the Holy Nights and this stepping into the Epiphany tone, or the Christmas to Epiphany mood. And then the bookend of that, of course, would be the Good Friday to Easter mood. And a few years before Michelangelo sculpted this piece, he sculpted his Pietà. And so once again, we see on that other end, Mary gathering her son onto her lap again. Sorry, it makes me a little emotional. But the point would be is that there's this side of this amazing being holding that space for that journey. And so as Angelus Silesius, I believe that's how you say his name, he's a 7th century German mystic that Rudolf Steiner references. He says, "I must become like Mary and bring forth God in me, if he would grant me blessedness for all eternity." So then I'll turn that back over to you, Angela, to take us into our meditation.
Thank you, Verlyn, for that love-filled introduction to help us move into conversation with this sculpture. I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and I'll call you back when the time has passed. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. It's my pleasure now to introduce Katrina Hoven, who is joining us from around the world. She's in India. I think it's 10:30 at night there, and she's going to lead us in I Think speech. So welcome.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you, everyone. So in Brian's lecture, he spoke to us about Taurus, which is the zodiacal sign of this sculpture, being connected to these formative forces of the ears and especially the organs of speech and the larynx. And we see that in the gesture of Taurus. You're welcome to follow along. We put the left hand in a light fist here and wrap our right hand around our heads, holding still the head itself. Brian also spoke about Taurus being connected to the will forces that we have within us. And so we have a beautiful connection of Taurus and this Eurythmy form that we've been working on for the last few days during these holy nights. Because especially the first 3 verses, I think speech, I speak, I have spoken, are about that which comes alive through our larynx being willed out into the world. So I welcome you to hold that in mind as we go through the gestures. I'll speak it through while we do it the first 2 times, and then we'll do it once in silence. I think speech. I speak. I have spoken. I seek myself within the spirit. I feel myself within myself. I am on my way to the spirit, to myself. I think speech. I speak. I have spoken. I seek myself within the spirit. I find myself within myself. I am on my way to the spirit, to myself. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you, Katrina. What a special treat. You've been behind the scenes so much. It's so nice to see you leading us in that form. Thank you. And thank you, Verlyn. Yeah. Thank you, Verlyn. It was beautiful. Thank you, Tess and Michelle, also behind the scenes, and to everybody for co-creating this community. Blessings on your day. We'll be back tomorrow. See if we can unmute everybody.
I just did it, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everyone. So much.
Blessings on your day. Thank you to all.
Happy
Thank you to all who helped.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hasta mañana.
Blessings. Thank you, everyone.
Abrazos.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.